Thank you very much, Chairman Lowenthal. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of our witnesses today. I think, as has been noted by a number of the witnesses, the United States and Wyoming in particular produces the cleanest coal in the world. And it remains and will remain an affordable and a reliable source of energy, source of power for the nation. I think it's also crucial for us to recognize, though, the decline that we've seen, as the witnesses mentioned, since the program was last reauthorized in 2006. And as we go forward in terms of thinking about reauthorization, particularly the fee structure, reauthorizing at the current rate will further disadvantage coal companies and create significant impacts for the people and the communities who rely on a healthy industry for jobs and for income. I think it's important for us as we go forward to make sure that we're looking at a formula that is not just a straight reauthorization, but that looks at the potential for reducing per ton fees, and also looks at shortening the amount of time for which a reauthorization would be effective. Simply because of the economic circumstances in which we find the coal industry. What I'd like to do is ask first to Todd Parfit if he could talk a little bit about the impact in particular of NEPA requirements and how those affect the approval of AML projects. And if he could tell us whether or not he's got recommendations or suggestions that might help us to improve that process.
Okay, well, thanks for the question. And NEPA is an important part of the AML process that we go through today, but it takes time and it takes additional money to do the NEPA clearances for the projects. And sometimes these NEPA clearances can take years to complete, slowing down the successful start of projects. One recommendation that I would have related to the NEPA analysis is because we're dealing with already pre-disturbed areas and we're trying to reclaim them and bring them back to the natural conditions, is take a look at the NEPA process and create a categorical exclusion for abandoned mine sites, which would help streamline the process and reduce the costs.
Thank you. Todd, could you also talk a little bit about, as you look at the balance between the benefit from the AML program, but also the decline that we're seeing overall, an industry that really is under significant stress, how should we be thinking about the duration of the program? Should we rely on the coal industry to fund this program until all legacy coal mining sites are addressed?
Yeah, so as has been pointed out, we've seen a reduction in collections in AML fees and a reduction correspondingly in the production of coal in Wyoming. Since its peak, we've seen it reduce from a peak of 2008, we've seen the production reduced by 53%, but the contribution has steadily grown. Back in 1978, the contribution of Wyoming to the AML program was 12%. Today, it's nearly 60%. That coupled with the fact, as we've heard in the testimony, is that in just construction costs alone, it's estimated $10 billion worth of work remains. If you add the engineering costs on that, you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $14 billion today with the current inventory. And with the fees as they are now, if you assumed that it went on for 15 years, you would still only collect maybe 17% of the need. And so along with the reduction in the fee, we also would consider that moving the AML reclamation reauthorization forward, but for a more limited time frame, to recognize the fact that the AML fee to the coal industry isn't going to cover the costs moving forward.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate that. And I want to thank the chairman again for the opportunity to participate today, and the Republican leaders, and I'll yield back the balance of my time. Thanks very much.